Well, Chicago, Illinois is getting the reputation for the most violent city in America. Statistically, it's close, but a lot of people say it's unsafe to visit Chicago any longer. What's going on there, and is this trend going to continue to other big cities in America? Ed Vitagliano, Abraham Hamilton III. We're going to talk about two aspects of this. First of all, you're not going to believe what Mayor Rahm Emanuel had to say. I don't know if he's converted to right-wing religious theology or what, but we'll talk about that in a moment. But Abraham Hamilton III, Abe, you worked in the criminal justice system. I wanted to ask you in particular, with what's going on in Chicago, we see it in other big cities, but maybe not to the degree. The police have been so maligned, and they're so beleaguered, and you do have a bad cop every once in a while. You've had to prosecute bad cops, right?
Yeah, that's true. When you have a consistent pounding on police officers, and especially in large cities where we need robust law enforcement, several things happen. One is that some of your most experienced and decorated officers find ways to early retirement. Two, you have a negative impact on your ability to recruit new officers. And three, that all combines with the reduction of the police force and the lengthening of the response time of law enforcement in the areas where they're most needed. Commonly, it's referred to as the Ferguson effect. Following what happened in Ferguson, the same thing happened. Seasoned officers retired, couldn't recruit new officers, so places where they need officers to respond, they're just not there. And guess what happens when that happens? Criminals have their way.
The bad guys know when the cops' influence has been reduced, right?
That's absolutely right.
That. What did Rahm Emanuel, the mayor of Chicago, say?
Well, and as you mentioned, he's not a right-winger. He was chief of staff under Barack Obama, so generally speaking, he's a left-leaning Democrat. That's how he became mayor of Chicago. Well, he has said here recently that this is an issue that
Talking about the crime issue.
Talking about the crime issue, he said we need to talk about morality, and we need to talk about family structure, because he said families and faith are necessary if you want to teach young men and women about self-control, about character, integrity, all those kinds of things that lead to good citizens and therefore a safe city. And he's been blasted because that sounds like, as you pointed out, that sounds like something we would say. Whereas the Democratic, the leftist, the progressive response to these issues of crime is to blame no jobs or
gun control.
Well,
we say heart control.
Yes.
Heart control first. You can talk about gun laws, but heart control, that's what stops people from doing acts of violence first and foremost. Because it's wrong, it's sinful.
Yes.
And Rahm Emanuel is talking about heart control. He's talking about faith and family and morals and values and those things, and he's getting just slammed for it.
He's got to be frustrated with the fact that they're trying to bring down crime, but you got these people running around. Some of them are young, a lot of them are young people, maybe related to gangs, and they're blowing people away for no reason. I mean, they're not defending themselves. This is cold-blooded murder. And what else are you going to talk about in terms of bringing that down?
Well, unless we see some heart change, morals, values, family structure changed again, then these trends are going to continue, I'm afraid, these violent trends in these big cities in particular. We'll see you next time on Reason and Company.